So let's dig into this. So have we seen either of those teams today? It's been a long day.
I don't think so, not yet.
I don't think we've seen them, so let us introduce those teams to you, shall we? Starting with Shikigami. I mean, that roster is running deep, okay? They have Fleta as the head coach.
I don't
even know how, like, when did that happen? Have I slept underneath a rock?
It's going to the stage.
Turn up for Fleta.
Yeah. We also have, of course, Seonjun. He's going up against his former team in TSM. A grudge match.
Wow. Wow.
That's a little grudge match.
Yeah.
Sure.
Seonjun is back after spending a little bit of time in OWCS Korea on the Haejokdan, coming back to this team as well, and, you know, playing next along Taejong. Shikigami has one of the most unexplainable damage rotations you'll see, because Seonjun is the long-range hit scan player for this team, and sometimes you'll see Taejong play the Tracer, the Genji, stuff like that. But then they'll sub in Lampen to play the Genji, and Taejong will move over to the hit scan as well. So I think it's going to be a game where we see all the damage players on the field for Shikigami at some point throughout the series.
I love that. Keep us on our toes. Keep it a surprise. Speaking of surprises and rotation, TSM. I mean, we've seen a lot of different iterations of this roster. Players have left, players have rejoined, and Riker, Lyre, and Squid, and Vision. I think they just joined recently at the end of September. Rocket and King, of course, have been around for a while. Then some teams also merged into this team. So what is this team's identity? Who's standing out here, Jake?
I mean, I think what's interesting for TSM is it's a meta where I would argue Rocket is really the superstar player of this squad. His Tracer has led them to many of their best performances that this roster has ever had. And this is a meta where Tracer is just not really played so much. You know, here and there, maybe some maps, maybe there's some Gibraltar, we could expect to see it come out. I think TSM will want to do that as much as they can, but it's just not really a Tracer meta. And so they're pushed to have King and Vision in, two very strong players in their own right, but it's a change for them. I think for me, I have a lot of pressure on Squid, who's been a huge performer on support all season long, been a really exciting player to watch, one of the best supports I think in the region right now, and maybe not as well known as some of the other big names, but I really am impressed by his individual play. Can he make the difference on Juno or Brig? Will he be playing Juno or Brig? Probably. I would expect the Juno. I think Lyre, Lyre's on the Brig. It kind of tracks, guy, but I think there's a lot of questions about how TSM are going to approach this match, frankly.
I also have some questions. The first one is about my pred. I cannot for my life remember who I predded or when that conversation took place. Oh, okay.
Wait, was that unexpected?
I know, actually. I actually, my heart tells me Shikigami's going.
Okay,
but I guess I'm running TSM all the way, baby. I'm not sure what went into this decision or if it ever happened, but I'm running with it. I'm rolling with it. TSM, let's go. That's all I have. Do you?
No, I kind of feel you on that. I think I did pred TSM, but I'm like, maybe I should have pred Shikigami. But I'm going to stick with TSM. I think this team has been around a long time. You know, yes, there've been a few changes, but these are all very strong players. They all know each other. They're experienced playing together. And so I think Riker, especially his ability to like be a team leader in a meta like this, where Orisa is the literal and figurative tip of the spear, I think is going to be a huge boon to TSM.
Yeah, I agree with you. I really do think that the 5 players they field on TSM right now, they are really good and excel in a meta like this, right? And, you know, you need really good decision making because of the importance of ultimates, especially ability rotations, ultimates, and kind of like management of the momentum in fights, right? And that is something I think TSM can do well. So I went with TSM 2 in this one, 3-1.
Yeah, I'm glad so in the past agrees with our analysts. Let's see what our casters have to say. Jack, Jen, is there upset potential? Who do you think is coming out on top of this one?
Yo, Passo is spitting fire there.
She knows her stuff. She knows her stuff.
You know what's going on. I like that. We should get past Johnny and past Jake, see how their minds end up changing. No more flip-flopping, Johnny? Yeah, shut the mic. Shut his mic off, bro. Get him out of here. TSM versus Shikigami. He's trying to fiddle with it, trying to get it back on. Here we go. Last series of the day. Another elimination game. Shikigami, look, going against TSM, you're expecting it to be a fairly close game. I kind of agree with Johnny, you know, a little 3-2 action going down, maybe favoring TSM, especially with how powerful Tracer is right now. I think TSM's damage lineup, heavy hitters. Shikigami's, though, on the other hand, are the same, but a lot of substitutions in and out for this squad throughout the stage. We'll see who they end up bringing in as we go through every single map type.
Yeah. And Shikigami, I feel like they're being severely underestimated right now. First, they brought on 2 superstar Korean DPS players, Seonjun and Taejong, who did quite well in the OWCS Korea scene, but also they no one's mentioned the fact they've signed Fleta
Yeah.
as their coach.
Which
and they
is
brought on a translator,
crazy.
which is insane,
love it.
right? But you heard the interview from Anayun, how Fleta brings so much structure to this team. Fleta doesn't know as much English as Taejong and Sunjun, so comms are still an issue on Shikigami's side. They're not perfect, but Sunjun and Taejong know a lot more English than Fleta, and we'll see how they really play off of each other on Control, where it's the most chaotic mode
We
ever.
are in the sickest timeline, actually, where Fleta's a coach of an NA team. I love Squid picking up this Alari. Pretty weak right now, it's got to be said, but you set up with this. Very hard for Sonjun really to do much on the Pharah. Has another target that's going to be perma shooting at him. Sonjun is 1 HP as well. He had no shot. You survived that. Heavy poke style coming through from TSM as the point unlocks.
Yeah, you might remember Sunjun from his breakout performance on Seoul Dynasty, but both these players, both the Koreans, have played a lot of Tracer. They have a lot of interchangeable hero pools, and they have a very solid Widow. Shikigami would want to go to a Widow map eventually, depending on if they'll get the choice or not, but it'll be up to Taejong to face off against Vision, but that pressure's just too much.
Very quick flip here from Shikigami. That was Graveyard taking out King with like a kunai headshot. Oh, Sonjun just accidentally eliminated himself. Oh, whoops. Well, we got that on cam thing. I was like, man, 9 HP is pretty low. He needs some heals. Whoops, Daisy. We'll blame that on the ping.
It's the ping diff, but being able to play far on defense is a big edge for Sunjun, and now you have Orbital Ray, so Shikigami obviously don't want to fight on the bridge, but rather see if they can cut up TSM once they go through that.
Oh, both Rays have been used. Solo realizing, oh, I'm alone in front line. Well, I'm gold, so I'm Marissa, and I don't care. Sonjun going down, unfortunately, to Vision. A sharp headshot. Terror Surge on the bridge. Vision pretty low, but it's all Riker holding down the 4 right now. Doing 2 jobs at once. Throws a spear one way, spear spins the other. All right, TSM gonna cap the point eventually. Shikigami end up falling there. 55% though, not too bad after your first cap.
And now that you have Barrages online, the defending Pharah is going to have a huge advantage. And I guess you could also just trickle poke in, and you never know what King can get with the double rocket action. Shikigami may want to just explore the White Room side, where King may want to set up on top of the ceiling for a barrage. That could be what makes or breaks that fight for TSM. And Sunjun has already made his way through to deny that position.
All right, there's Captive Sun. Oh, unfortunate stuff as Sonjun ends up going down. A perfectly placed Suzu there from Graveyard to keep him up, but Liar, he's back. Oh yeah. Not on Lucio this time around, on a speedier hero. Well, I guess it depends. I don't know what, no, I guess Juno isn't a speedier hero than Lucio, but I don't know. Speedering does send you flying pretty fast if you're shift at the same time. All right, this is going to be tougher to walk across the bridge now, Lemon. You've got Deadeye and Terror Surge to kind of deal with. It's not going to be a clean or pretty fight at any stretch of the imagination.
This is a flip now, and being able to play a Tracer gives you that opportunity to pressure the point. Deadeye does get canceled, and Riker's just going for it again.
But hey, you created the space, and the Orbital Ray did the rest. Graveyard's not long for this world, and neither is this Pharah. Sonjun, surely this is a free kill from Liar. Oh, he needs to reload. Tragic. All good though. 80% of building for TSM, nearing final fight.
Last chance, no ults for TSM, but a Terra Surge if Solo can pull in Vision or just anybody. And that's crossing the bridge is dangerous against people who can knock you off, including King, who was on just the other side of the point. And the Orbital Ray will kick things off.
Ray though, look at that. Taejong is in the backline right now. Sonjun switching over to Genji as well, by the way. Of course, was on the Pharah not too long ago as Shikigami used that one ult to win the fight. No kills, so TSM will be able to come back into this one pretty quickly. Terror Surge, Solo wants it. He's marching across the bridge. He's looking at Vision. A good spear, but nothing's going to take down the Casty. Eventually, Taejong finishes him off as Vision and Riker also meet their maker. Shikigami up to 95% and building with only Squid left alive. There it is.
I like that Solo brings that stability to Shikigami as one of the original members from the Stage 1 Shikigami roster and just ignores Riker, goes in, and that's the type of Orisa playstyle that you get away with in ranked and usually not in competitive, but Riker's got to do something about that.
Any touches, looks like King's going to be there to touch. Captive Sun lands, and that's a big one too. Almost instantly cleansed. King ends up falling over as the rush has been ripped on the point, and now TSM are going to have to rely on this raid to get the job done. Terra Surge and a Pulse Bomb available for Shikigami, but they're going to have to turn tail and actually get to the back of the point. Otherwise, this raid is just going to evaporate them. Taejong looking for an entrance into the fight, but can't quite get it. Pulse Bomb still in hand as they end up getting back on there to contest. Ray ends up, you know, not getting as much as TSM really wanted, but the Deadeye definitely did. Anion goes down, but now Sonjun's blade might just be what they require. Vision falls, same with Riker, as Shikigami stand tall on the points with only King surviving. A 99 to 99% as Shikigami claim the first round.
What an absolute barn burner of a round one. Holy cow, I don't even know how you're still alive. 199 coming down to every single person popping their ultimates. And a big thing is Shikigami having more finishing power. The Genji Tracer versus King, who had the Pharah, who's just kind of rocketing the window, which ultimately was just only affecting the Orisa. So King was a bit out of the picture. Not that he wasn't doing nothing, but bigger impact coming from Shikigami, especially with the Dragon Blade at the end from Sunjun. So go to Control Center, and it's gonna be a lot about server control initially, or can you have your hit scan set up on the coast side, and what kind of finish can Taejong get if he goes unchecked on the Genji? And is King gonna go to the Tracer or stick with this? Yeah, Genji time.
Okay, yeah, Taejong on the Genji. Sadly, we're not seeing any more Alari. It's a sad day when we don't see Alari. At least saw it once. I'll take that. You know, we've had Zen today, we've had Alari, we've had a lot of fun support picks, so that's a W. Oh, nice spear onto Lyre, that's it. Kind of irritating for him, but it's all good. Shrugs it off.
So far, so good for Shikigami being able to defend, but here's a recontest from TSM with the speed boost to Riker. Is ready to tango, and Graveyard almost in a too forward of a position, almost got caught out, able to bash back, and still no one is capped.
Sonjun versus Vision right now on the side. Looks like Taejong will peek his head in as well. Vision pretty low, in fact. Almost got that Deadeye. Now the target is Solo. No gold, no problem. Easy headshots for the Cassidy. Is Riker. Man, Orisa is just a walking death machine. It's just looking at the squishy badges, you're like, I will spear spin towards you, then I will fortify so I get no CC, and now you are dead. It's quite annoying when both the Orisas kind of ignore each other and then focus their attention on the back line, but that's just how the cookie crumbles in this meta, sadly. TSM, a wealth of ultimates for this next fight.
Orbital ready to kick things off too from Squid, and Riker's just taking a page out of Solo's book of just ignore the Orisa, run at everyone else, and to react to that, it's all about macro as a team. You've got to be able to distance yourself from the Orisa, and buying space is Sunjun with the Deadeye.
Ooh, decent bit of damage there. Nothing resulting kills just yet. Terra Surge, however, Solo's just going to fortify his way out of that one. Oh, dearie me, that could have been disastrous, but luckily a spear spin just at the right time to save his life from the Deadeye, but same cannot be said for these rallies and blades. Taejong and King pulling their blade. Which Genji comes out on top? I'll take it, the one with the break back up, that is for sure. Lyra eventually felled, but it is all King here. Nice resets from the Genji, and TSM clean up as Shikigami only gets 16%.
And when King sprung onto the scene in Tier 2, Genji was one of his best heroes, and I'm glad to see him continue to wreak havoc. But you're going up against Taejong, who's very well known in his own right as a flex DPS. Those two on Shikigami can play literally anything, but how will you go against the master of Genji of King himself? This is going to be a tough matchup.
Someone save my mans. Get him out of there. Oh, Graveyard dead. Yeah, it's little torpedoes. That's the problem. The speed ring and then the spear spin towards. Yeah, you're just dead. Absolutely no chance of getting out of that one.
Still defending from this point, very huge for TSM, and having the rally. Can you catch a Genji on an awkward dash? Can you really keep the team pushing? TSM want to match aggression with aggression. They're letting Shikigami walk in to see if they can cut behind them.
Oh, good bash. Terra Surge. Oh, Sonjun just couldn't move. Sonjun was bashed. Terra Surge. He might as well have uninstalled, honestly, at that point. Well, that should be it. Unless this Ray gets any work done, but unfortunately it does fade away with Solo not getting the kills required to keep them in this fight. TSM at 99% with only one person left to deal with. Anian's in the back line right now, does manage to come back in, but now they have to deal with a Ray from Squid. Anian tried to lock herself in the server room right there, but Riker speared the door down and took her out. That is Shikigami losing that round, but TSM, you know, livening this one up a little bit. Very close first affair, that 99-99. This one a little bit more one-sided with TSM winning 100-16.
Yeah, TSM just coordinating better as a team. It's not just Riker going in trying to 1v5 the same way that Solo is, and Riker is now pushing with the team, playing this from front to back, forcing Shikigami to disengage as a team, and you're seeing maybe those the imperfect execution and comms for Shikigami. When you have this mixed roster, it's not going to be always clear when are you going in and when you're not, especially when both of your DPS are Korean and they speak English, but there are nuances to comms that aren't going to always be easy, and those tiny slip-ups on control are going to be fully exposed with a team like TSM. But it is round 3 after all, and no more control center, and we got a Mei from Taejong.
Okay, Taejong Mei. Anian just sticking on the Juno, so a classic backline here, but a little bit of Ramatra coming through from Shikigami. Not too unlike Solo to play these kind of tanks, of course. There's a Riker on the Diva, so a very different look. No Orisas to be seen. I do really like the Mei on this this point. It can be so devastating. And you know what's devastating too? King's Flex DPS. That's a lot of damage.
Shikigami just could not coordinate a brawl at all, because in a vacuum, the Ramatra is going to do better against the Diva, but with the Pharah on top of them, Shikigami didn't know what to do. They're also getting knocked off the map in so many different ways, so if Shikigami can get organized with a solid brawl of the Mei enabling Solo, it should be an easier time, especially if they can get into a position where they can defend, but attacking with a Mei, a lot easier said than done.
They didn't really get too much chance to build a bolt charge either. Looks like King forced the recall of Sunjun as well, so Shikigami in a really rough spot. Solo popping that Nemesis form just to get away, crossing those arms, taking reduced damage as Anion trying to take on King right now, taken down by Vision. It's been a really tough time to get out this doorway. I mean, King is just unperturbed. My guy is just free in the skies right now. There's nothing stopping him.
The conk into the backhand is insane text from King. Like, now he's got Barrage. He's gonna let it rain as soon as Shikigami come through the bottom side. I'd love to see Solo on the high ground and just focus down this far, because now that Taejong's on the Genji, that's better than the Mei, I guess, but still not a hard hit scan option to reach up to the King.
Yeah, Anian going down like that, that's not what you want to see. I mean, this is a reset angle for sure for Shikigami right now. I mean, Graveyard can't even get away. I mean, there's just no plausible way they get away, but Solo on the other side of things is killed too. And Sonjun comes out with a kill. Hang on a second, I've spoken too soon. I've cursed them yet again. Someone get this man off the broadcast. He's cursed them again. Anian. Oh, Anian's won. Someone save Anian, please. She can't die. Please save Anian. Oh, the Matrix is good.
Oh, the Matrix.
Anian's 1 HP. Oh, no, Riker lands the P-shooter headshot. Oh, that is tragic. Anian was so close as well to getting that ultimate online too. I mean, that's just it. I mean, that is TSM with a smackdown of epic proportions on Night Market. Shikigami didn't have a single fight. A single one. Hold up both your hands right now. Don't put any fingers up. That's how many fights they got.
Well, they went to round 3, unless you meant that map. Oh,
yeah,
like that map. Yeah, that map was atrocious.
Yeah,
no, okay.
They went 2-1. They went 2-1, but I meant that last round. Yeah. I also, holding up your hands doesn't work. I just realized. Hold out your fists is what I mean. But anyway, they didn't have a fight. Is what I mean. That was the kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the analogy.
TSM are insane. Only W key. TSW, I guess, if we want to rename it that, like, just flip down backwards. Like, Taejong and Sunjun tried to just be independent at the end of just, and they kind of were turning the fights by themselves. Just the Tracer started roaming, the Genji went over the wall, did what it could, and going up against a Zen, that's a very possible, really good targets for Tracer Genji to go after. But man, it took it's just Shikigami never started to fight on a good foot. When you have to attack with a Mei, they had to change that up, and then a Diva was all over them at all times, and just not good target focus from Shikigami, at least on that last round.
Yeah, I mean, Riker too, just hounding down Annie in a lot of the time as well. And that's the perfect target to go for as well. If you end up killing that Juno, the Brig is very weak. Like, you require the speed ring, obviously the heal from the Juno as well, but like your mobility is just only the shield bash versus a comp that is extremely mobile. The fire is going to be on top of you the whole time, like the Diva as well. The very, very tough final round there for Shikigami. It couldn't have been more one-sided. Unlike the first round, to be fair, where they both went 99 to 99. Well, TSM end up taking this map, and that does mean Shikigami get their choice. Coming up next, let's have a look at the stats, though, for that one, if anybody's interested. 50 deaths to 22. That's...
What? That's insane. Probably supplemented from that last map for sure, but at least the silver lining is Shikigami, they just brought on these players like less than a month ago, Fleta as well. Like, there's a structure that they're still seeking to get, and I mean, Ani spoke about how, you know, bringing on a Korean coach is way different than I don't know, I guess she hasn't worked with a Western style coach, but it's a whole different dynamic that's being created on the Shikigami side. And on Control, it's not going to be perfect when you got kind of mixed language comms, or it's just not perfect in that regard. So you saw that when Shikigami does have the space to actually brawl against TSM, it did look closer. But if they constantly have to attack into a proactive TSM, it's pretty chalked. But now we go into a more organized game mode where Shikigami will have a better chance.
Well, we'll see the Fleta difference maybe. We'll have to wait and see what he's cooking up in terms of the maps. Of course, this is where we can go. A little Clash of Flashpoint will be kind of nice. I haven't seen too many of those today. Maybe even a dive too. Just take us to Watchpoint perma. I think maybe the rules should be changed that we always play Watchpoint, because then we get to see pure dive and Widow.
It's pretty nice. Yeah, even the dive maps getting changed. Like, was it Dorado? Maybe adding an elevator or something. So it's like, now maps are becoming like, you can pretty much play anything on anything. I mean, we're even seeing Reinhardt in our current day. So Shikigami, last time they even had a choice of map, they went to Gibraltar when going up against YFP, which did not end well. They do have a secondary tank in Mari, who plays a lot of dive, and it is Temple of Anubis, where they can continue the Orisa with solo. And again, now if Shikigami can just not be in pure chaos mode, they'll look a lot better.
Throne of Anubis. Okay, we're going to Clash. Alrighty. Now, love it or hate it, I mean, Clash, especially Throne of Anubis, very, very kind of rush heavy. You always end up fighting around that midpoint, like most of the game. Who do we expect here for substitutions? I mean, of course, we spoke it to death, really, about the Shikigami subs. Curious if the tank role is going to switch up at any moment for either side. We're going to load in just a moment. Can Taejong and Sujin like get back into this game? Because King's Farah, especially that final round, was just monstrous.
Oh, TSM, I think they need to be put in check, and it'll be up to these substitutions. Lampit is in, and he's brought in on Clash or Pushmaster Shikigami as that solo kind of can roam around Genji player that you don't have to worry about. So excited to see how he will do in a sort of a rare appearance.
Yeah, Noctis as well. So Anion's not playing this one. It's going to be Graveyard Noctis backline. Of course, Shikigami, definitely one of the teams that make the most use of their subs. They sub people in and out very frequently. And yeah, Mari, of course, she's also sitting on the bench currently as well. So we could end up seeing maybe Mari come in if they want to play something like hard dive, like Diva. If we go to Watchpoint Gibraltar, I wouldn't be too surprised to see that as we load on in. Throne of Anubis, we're going to Clash as our second game here versus TSM and Shikigami. Loser here goes home. Winner advances through that lower bracket.
TSM can, they're a team that adapt very well too, and right now they're not being pushed off of their game. So I think you can continue to put the King Genji vision on whatever he wants, whether it's the Cassidy or the Ashe, and Riker, just do Riker things on the Orisa. It's Shikigami that have to make them uncomfortable somehow. And Lampid, if you're worried about a King Genji, send Lampid to do Genji things, and that could be a way for Shikigami to find a closer matchup. And Taejong will maybe see him shine a bit more if he has space to operate, which he did not on most of Lijiang Tower. Excited to see how different this will look now.
Yeah, I just want to make a quick correction there. Anian staying in, so it was actually Graveyard that took a back seat for this one. So Anian Noctis for Shikigami in the back line. Both teams rolling out the Orisa. Complete mirror comps either side of things.
Yeah, Aniun, important for their ult tracking. That's what she's responsible for, and Solo's gonna stay in. And Noctis and Solo are part of that original roster too, so they know each other well, but Solo is gonna see death very soon with how low he is.
Classic Flash Fan the Hammer gameplay from Vision there. Couldn't make it any better of a trailer right there for Cassidy. Perfect stuff. TSM just, well, sweep Shikigami under the rug.
Just being able to bring that Orisa down below her armor and also all those cooldowns. Solo really needs to get all the attention from Noctis and Aniun, and if Noctis even looks away to look at Lampid, or I don't know what they're going to be doing, Solo needs to be maintained on that front line or the whole fight crumbles.
High ground control is so important for this point. And you can see Shikigami thinking about pushing them off. It's exactly what they're going to try and do. Look at this rotation here. Points unlocked. They're going to forego it, at least for now. Of course, they do cap rather slowly, so they got a lot of time. There's a lot of little torpedoes there. A little bit of healing, a little bit of damage. We like to see that. And here comes the High Noon. Uh-oh, Noctis pretty low. Vision's hunting for someone. He's hunting for the Orisa, but this High Noon's going to run out eventually. It's actually Lambert, and he ends up meeting. And now Solo's got one mean Cassidy to kind of deal with, especially in these orbital rays. Absolutely no way Taejong stands up to that. And TSM right underneath the noses of Shikigami are going to cap that point.
Yeah, just Vision, King, or just hitting a bunch of body shots that aren't necessarily getting immediate kills, but it's forcing Shikigami into cover and not in line of sight of someone like Aniun or Noctis, and they're still trying to find each other on the map. And yeah, Shikigami can re-engage because they're not dying, but they also are not starting off on a good foot, to say the least.
Well, the rotations look like the Oregon Trail out here. Blade available for Lambert. Terror Surge comes in, and there's an insta-kill on Squid. Anian also falls, so no juniors on the map right now. TSM still with a kill advantage, with Taejong also falling. Lambert is going to have a tough time getting this Blade off. I mean, Lia's also sitting here with the rally too. Solo down, here comes the Blade. Oh, Lambert, he's in the old spawn. He can't get back up. Oh. He couldn't get back up. Oh, I think he was trying to ledge grab. To be fair, there were like 4 people looking at him, so that would have been a swift death, I would think. A tick acquired by TSM, so they're up to 3 points right now, which is very good for a final point push, to be fair. It's a free point for TSM as Shikigami all spawn and get their first point on the board.
Not unwinnable from Shikigami. They had the 3v4. They killed one of the supports from TSM. They had Riker at quarter health, but Lampid being stuck in the stagger hole there did not help things at all. He could have definitely been more impactful if he found his way around there, but this is TSM just being more structured.
That's really nice checking there, actually, from Taejong. High Noon used. Stop that rally from running over them. Oh, but what a spear. Perfect stuff from Solo. Point unlocks in a couple of moments. Here comes the secondary rally. It's Lia's time to shine. However, he is on the low ground right now. Not exactly where you want to be. And they're both rays coming through as well. Taejong, what a shot. One heady, come on. Little dive, weave. Oh, an unfair fight now. Unfortunately for it. No way he gets that kill. What? Okay, Vision still kills Taejong somehow. It's like a 3v1, still comes up with a kill. Rather scrappy affair, I must say.
Yeah, Shikigami are very much deathmatch mode, and that's the type of team that scrapped through it. And with sort of where they're at right now with picking up these new players, that's maybe a style that may prove to be good for them, but it's how they kind of find Aniun and Noctis that's going to be the problem. If they're all going to take these solo duels, you need eventually to get supports or mega packs, and this is Shikigami's choice of map where I hope they're familiar enough to find those packs, but TSM still look like they're going to take the map just based on how everything's going.
I knew from Taejong. Spear's been used from Riker to get away, create some distance. Shikigami now capping. Vision's got a high noon of his own. He's going to try and peek over, bait the spear. There's the spear gone. Now the spear spin as Vision just dashes straight down into his death, perhaps. Yep, Terror Surge and a blade. He was like, haha, you activated my trap card, my high noon, as Lampert just absolutely dominates. Getting 3-4 kills, give him the 5th. Not quite. Taejong steals it away, but that is a team kill from Shikigami as they eventually cap this B point.
An interesting throw from Vision to think a full charge Deadeye was gonna chonk a almost full health Orisa, but you know, screw it, I guess. TSM are gonna give up a point now, and Shikigami, this is a comeback that they are slowly building confidence towards. It was a fantastic blade from Lampet too. At a moment that TSM were weak, Lampet put salt into the wound, so maybe this is not over. Shikigami are definitely picking things up.
Blade for King. Oh, the dash got cancelled too by the bash. Nice stuff there from Noctis. Spotting King out. Getting the instant kill, and then Lampert also gets his bash stunned. There here comes the Ray. Nice deflection damage there from Lampert, but they're not exactly shooting into it. Shooting straight at Solo. A return Ray here from Anion. This is a fight winner if they can actually make use of it. Vision is dodging out the way. Anion getting decent damage in to help Taejong secure that kill onto Riker. Now the blade comes through. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. An easy kill for King. But once again, these fights just ending up so scrappy with now Taejong using this high dude off to the side. Can't quite get the cooler jump pad kill, but it's enough for Shikigami now to get some capture progress.
Yeah, this whole fight has been trades 1-to-1. There hasn't been a clear advantage. Solo died first, and he's back before Riker, and they still weren't able to cap before Riker is back. Deadeye for TSM to get back in.
Someone will die soon, I promise. Someone's gonna cap, don't worry. TSM now with control of the point, building up. Halfway there, Shikigami try and make their next move. Riker pretty low, has to use that gold to try and get out of harm's way. A lot of healing coming in from Laya and Squid now, as Anion used that speed ring to try and get out of the way of Riker. Taejong sent to the skies, directly to heaven there, as Riker just picks him out of the sky, just with those left clicks. As TSM, they're gonna be able to claim this point and put themselves on a match point here, or map point even. 4-2, Shikigami are white, as they have to reset back in their spawn.
Yeah, and serious point if TSM take that point too, and Shikigami do not want to stare down the barrel of their tournament lives against a team that I think in their eyes is very beatable. They came into this match very confident, well really at the start of this tournament very confident, and now have to fight back against a pretty tough loss earlier on in the day. But Shikigami have put a good dent into TSM, but how you force the chaos, how Shikigami can take these solo duels would be really ideal, and Lampert has Blade, so how can he get TSM weak enough where he can get resets? It's all up to Taejong to weaken those targets for him.
King was pressuring the point, forcing Solo to move, moves below TSM. But here comes the engagement. Ray comes out from the high ground, Blade's been popped as well. Look at that damage coming through from Lampert, but gets instantly destroyed. That flashbang just does so much from Vision. Straight in the Ray as well. I mean, truly an unstoppable demon on the Cassidy. Solo still managed to find a couple of kills here in Squid and Vision, but I mean, look at the damage being sent their way. Every single cooldown used to try and stay alive as Solo, recognizing the fact that he's got nothing left, has to back off the point, at least for now. TSM still capping the point, but Shikigami are going to be there to revert as they're able to regroup as a team a lot quicker due to their spawns being closer.
And being able to Deadeye to maybe stop TSM from recontesting. It's actually Vision's first to allow TSM to reestablish Taejong as a counter, but it gets canceled.
Squid going down to the Tracer though. Lampert ends up coming up big, switching from the Genji onto the Tracer and already getting work done. Okay, Riker still comes up with one, and again, so scrappy, but it is favoring Shikigami. Solo super low. Vision just needs one more shot to kill Anion, but can't quite get it. Anion with a strafe there, was a little bit too clean with it for the Cassie to land one final shot as TSM. They're going to be able to regroup. There's a potential for a touch, but it will be a rush one. And it looks like potentially they're just going to fight mid, deciding against it.
Shikigami stealing away that point after, again, just forcing a lot of these solo duels, and maybe a hectic comms from TSM as they can't seem to get organized on a front. It's just trades back and forth, and what did we say? After control, Shikigami, they can brawl well if given the opportunity, if given the space, as Lampert looks to maybe slam dunk a pulse here.
Not quite. Worth the attempt, though, especially if you're going for the brig. Oh, Noctis dead to a spear. That's not a good start for Shikigami right now. You've still got the Ray, but Solo is so low, and Onion gets speared. Okay, Onion's still going to rip it, but Solo's already dead. Onion as well, quick to die off of the back of that. King pulls the blade, and TSM, they're just going to make it. They got the rally, they got the blade, they got the high noon, they got a Ray coming up as well, but they don't need it. TSM are going to claim that last point and find themselves a match point to boot. One more map away from securing themselves the series and knocking Shikigami out of the playoffs.
And you gotta commend Shikigami for doing at least as well as they are, considering all these players, this new coach, this new system is being incorporated less than a month ago. And who knows just how much time you have to scrim as a team and how you're maybe just trying to start from scratch. And you're seeing at least the pieces start to assemble, but this is a TSM team that are just so aggressive, and if you give them an inch, they take a mile. And TSM did get kind of flustered at some moments in these fights from big blades from Lampent, and just overall how things can get really hectic in a map and in a game type that can be a lot like Control, but this is looking like a more and more TSM series the more it goes on.
It's very chaotic, very hectic, definitely. A lot of the fights coming down to just a 2v2, a 2v1. Hey, I'm down for the scrappiness. I'm down to get dirty in the mud, honestly. TSM with a match point, however. Shikigami's now chance to pick. And throwing this to a Throne of Anubis is quite interesting as well. Obviously, teams have been kind of scrimming this game mode, but it's still fairly new. So depending on how, you know, how long you've been together as a squad, might not be their favorite mode to kind of jump to, but at least TSM come out with the victory here, and knowing full well they're on match point. A lot of their fans in the audience too, I imagine, breathing a small sigh of relief, because even Johnny was like, well, I think it just goes to a map 5. Shikigami have proven themselves over the last few weeks, and Taejong and Sujin have been very, very strong players to them. They've had a dependable backline for so long as well in Anian, Noctis, and Graveyard. They're definitely a team to be trifled with, but TSM right now, and especially someone like King, man, he is just pulling no punches. Like, his Pharah is looking good, the Genji as well. And yeah, it's hard to really say what Shikigami could do right now to kind of push TSM all the way to a map number 5.
Yeah, maybe it's just leveraging mechanics. Like I've said before, Taejong and Sunjun, very, very good aimers, but sometimes these game types come around being organized, being able to communicate, and really coming up with a plan and executing it. Where Shikigami, I even said at the end of Control, it may just be up to send Taejong and Sunjun go kill and let them just rely on packs and go do their own thing and see what they can produce on their own, rather than try to rally a team and have them hesitate on what they should do.
Oh, we have to wait and see if they also make any substitutions. Shikigami might want to just stick with Lambert. Hey, did pretty well on the Genji, to be fair. If they want to continue that kind of train of thought going. Is their chance to choose a map? So curious where we're going to go with this one. Here is the map pool, of course. You know it, you love it. You've seen it a million times, but we're here to just remind you. We've seen a lot of Runasapi recently, so maybe a push is on the cards here. They don't want to go to like a dive map like Gibraltar or anything.
Yeah, Shikigami have chosen Gibraltar, New Junk City, Esperanza when they faced up against Toronto, and they had a real chance. I mean, Shikigami is one of the few teams to really make Toronto sweat besides NRG. Like, Shikigami took Toronto to Game 5. Yeah, this was with Danny standing in, but if you ignore that, if you do ignore that point, Shikigami looked good. But yeah, playing against a coach isn't ideal until Toronto got their players back, and then
Danny
they won.
Clean on the tour. I don't know what you're saying. I know good tour play when I see it, and that was good tour play. He looked sick. The turret looked great. The placement was fantastic. Molten Core popped off. Hey, you just needed Sugar Free, you know, like put Sugar Free back in. It was an easy sweep from there. Okay, Runasapi, seeing a lot of that today. Picked by Shikigami now.
Again, it's kind of solo play styles, I think, would be the big win con, and depending on if they stick with Lampent or if they bring Taejong, which both Sunjun and Taejong play a very, very good Genji, but it's rather maybe someone who fits well with the team, and maybe that's why you bring Lampent in, who just has more experience with the Shikigami roster. And they even tried to bring Graveyard in, who can't forget that, in the back line. But Shikigami are also facing tournament lives, and it's hard to play from an O2 position and to come up with new ideas and to even risk going off the initial game plan. Obviously, this is a map pick that they've prepared, right? But now you kind of have to adapt and go to plan B, because TSM are not shaken right now.
That's where Fleder comes in. Overwatch League MVP, one of the greatest to ever do it. I mean, hey, their veteran presence does mean a lot in these kind of teams, right? Especially with players that haven't been around for as long as he has. Like, he played all the way back in like Flash Lux, like Apex time, and that was going to be go over a lot of people's heads, but very ancient Overwatch, like competitive Overwatch lore. Fleder was kind of the go. Solo carrying Flash Lux as well. Like, that team was not good, and Fleder was the only one that was bringing them wins. Don't forget to grab your tickets as well to Stockholm. It's very close. Make sure you grab them right now. There's a link down below, streamhack.com/Stockholm to check out all the info.
And something about Swedish milk and interesting Swedish beverages that Reinforce can bring you through. I'm curious, and I may just buy my ticket because of that. So shout out to Reinforce. But I'm excited to see who's going to also go to
He's
Stockholm.
really reeling people in with that like Swedish milk. He's like, it goes crazy. Yeah, it's sick. It's like, bro, it's just normal milk.
Mystery milk.
Okay, I do not want to taste any mystery milk. Let's quit this conversation now before we get fired. TSM versus Shikigami. Third and potential final map here for Shikigami. They're going to find something in this series. We'll see if any substitutions come in. Noctis out by the looks of it. Same with Rampant. So it's Sonjun Taejong on DPS and Graveyard and Anian on support for Shikigami. TSM just sticking with the same old 5.
And I don't think TSM have to really change anything beyond just the King Genji, of course. I wonder if Vision's going to go Cassidy or Ashe, or if TSM don't play as much Tracer, I guess, as compared to other teams, but certainly something they could do with how long this map is. Zenyatta, Kiriko is something teams have brought up before, but Graveyard's thinking about the Kiriko, which I like, and this could be that offensive power, maybe the extra DPS they need.
Here it is. Okay, this is kind of what I want to see. Sonjun on the hit scan as well. Raw hit scan on the Ashe. Extremely good. Definitely one of his best heroes, if not his best.
Oh, a lot of poke can come out of Graveyard, and excited to see how he can maybe help Sonjun get the edge on Vision. Just these headshots from Kiriko can be very deadly, and the cleanse. Always nice to buy yourself a crucial second against Blades, but TSM starting off well.
That was a downtown kill as well. I think Taejong has overstayed his welcome. King, okay. There's the resets you want. Sonjun got picked off super early. Barely got a single shot off.
Yeah, TSM are very comfortable in their position. Vision is even taking these fun off angles, and he's got to be careful of like eating a spear, because this map, there's tiny hallways, there's walls behind you, and Vision is clearly being marked, but Taejong should be trying to hunt this down.
Yeah, Sonjun in a good spot as well in this window, just chilling. Oh, that's good dynamite. Okay, got to stop this cross. Striker's already made it over with that spear spin. You don't want to get surrounded here. If you're Shikigami, you're slowly going to get encapsulated.
And also Shikigami not running a break tells me they really want Taejong to be more independent with the packs, but Orbital Ray is very nice and very
it's
early.
really nice. You're going to get checkpoint on this for sure. Look at that damage. If one of those is a headshot, I think the Orisa just falls over there. Graveyard and Sonjun are dead too. These are bad staggers. Shikigami right now. They can't lose anybody else. Solo dead, okay. Oh dear, this is slipping out of their hands rather rapidly. Their tournament lives on the line right now, as this payload is just continuing to march for TSM.
It's interesting that Squid got the Orbital Ray before Oniyun. Shikigami maybe too reliant on the packs, which is maybe giving them a support ult disadvantage, but still, it's a lot for Shikigami to handle going into an 0-2 position. Now they have Orbital Ray to win, potentially.
Quick force the recall there from Vision. Nice headshot onto Taejong. 2 trade for Riker, so that's definitely an advantage for Shikigami right now. Happy with that though, right? I mean, 84 meters. Just burn some ults, or at least try to. Oh, good spear. Ooh. I think that's one of the most violent abilities in the game. I think. Like spear. You get hit by that and you're like, a whole screen shudder, like shakes, and like, if you were playing, have you ever seen those desks where they like attach motors to it, so every time you shoot or like do anything, it like vibrates the whole like desk? Imagine that, but you get speared by the Orisa.
Like a 4D chair when playing Overwatch, I would lose it.
I think you would literally die in real life, I think. Like, it just gets shaken to death. All right.
Well, when you got 4 ults on Shikigami's side, you're probably going to die to that too, and they're not too far behind.
They aren't. I mean, this rush could be a big play here from Shikigami. Now running into this blade, however, as King has already found one. A good flashbang there onto Taejong. But unfortunately, there's no follow-up shot as Vision and Squid end up falling prey to Solo. The thing is, TSM have stolen the bot right now, straight under the nose of Shikigami, so they're going to have to now reclaim all of that space.
Yeah, Shikigami, this is very economical for them. They're all pretty low. Kitsune rushed just to finish the job, and Striker was just been a thorn in their side, and that's the clean finish Shikigami needed to start to close the gap between the score, and then they have plenty of ults, including a Bob, to really shake things up on TSM's half.
All right, they're going to push around this corner here, just towards this checkpoint. They're close. Taejong, pulse bomb. Okay, sneaky beaky like. Everybody's kind of down on the floor right now. They've rotated rather far around onto coast. Lies in the sights. Good stick as well. Oh, that's a double. Goodbye backline. Liar bashing or Squid backing up. Not sure which one it was, but it is good for 2. TSM lose that checkpoint and potentially even lose the lead here as well.
Ooh, hold on. This is a Shikigami form that we are excited to see. One that is a lot more competitive. Taejong with 3 kills that last fight. If you can send Taejong to be a solo independent king, you love to see it, but here comes a Deadeye.
Yeah, the Deadeye Terror Surge. There is nothing you can do. I'm sorry. And there it is. Luckily for TSM, they didn't give any more meters to Shikigami. 72 to 84 as the team kill comes in. And they get that bot moving again. Forward spawns to Shikigami though, so they'll be able to fight a little bit earlier than TSM would like.
Yeah, TSM will have to win another fight to get any progress, and this is still within reach of Shikigami, but Orbital Ray, that's going to be the big duel, and a Terra Surge from Solo, so it's all up to Vision and King to convert these
with
kills.
Insane damage on the torpedoes there. Straight after that Orbital Ray takes down Squid. They end up trading Junos, and King trying to save his partner DPS in Vision, who's scurrying for cover right now. Lies also down, so TSM, no supports currently. And Shikigami making it hurt. Like, look at that. They end up stopping the bot around the midpoint. So they're going to be able to fight on this corner. And if they win this next one, they're going to take that lead for sure.
Yeah, just the focus fire during that Orbital Ray is so important. Shikigami able to conserve like every ult but the Orbital Ray. Now they can Terra Surge, they can Pulse, they got a Bob for the later stage of the fight, and how they shut down King is going to be the win con for Shikigami.
Yeah, they got the Blade. Terra Surge, though, might be the tool to do it. You cannot let Taejong get another stick. He can't keep getting away with this. Riker's pretty low. Taejong looking for a stick now. Vision paying attention to him. Flashbang goes out, stops the Tracer in her tracks. And now the rally comes through from Liar, determined not to give up this point just yet. Bob destroyed, and Liar with the rally marches on forward. Stun onto Solo. There's the Terror Surge. Blade still not popped. And Taejong again with a double pulse bomb kill. Liar, Riker down, and there you go. That is lead for Shikigami now.
A huge united effort from Shikigami. First, the Sunjun Bob stops from TSM from being aggressive off their rally. TSM continue once the Bob is done, and it's a Terra Surge Pulse Bomb combo from Shikigami that swings that in their favor, and now they're in the lead by at least 10, and this is not stopping. They got Kitsune Rush coming up, but losing Sunjun sucks right now.
Vision's super low, and yeah, they know it too. Great down at these trades there, and a rush is going to come through. King eventually pops the Blade to try and even the score, as Liar and Vision are already down. He's found one, but where are the resets? Where's the other kills? A Terror Surge is launched in from Micah. A spear missing, but this is a scrappy fight. Ults burnt left, right, and center for both sides. But it should be TSM controlling the bot. Spawn advantage in their favor, but time and ults have been burnt. Shikigami with the lead.
And this is going to go back to the neutral position, but TSM can't win back-to-back fights, at least not in a while. And Shikigami can easily turn this around. It is a tug of war, 2.5 minutes, and Orbital Ray, depending on how Vision's Deadeye is going to get countered here, actually no deflect, it's just going to be the Javelin spin or maybe a cleanse to deal with Vision, so he could really surprise Shikigami if they're not careful.
The backline right then. Had to TP away. Not sure what he was doing there. Well, here comes the Rays. They're going to cross eventually. Lion swinging in the front line. You can see TSM and Shikigami rotating, hunting for kills. Squid and Onion first to fall, with Vision holding on to this Deadeye. But Taejong again! His third triple poke spot
Jesus.
in this map so far. How does he keep doing it?
He is a Tracer GOAT. I mean, playing with so... Oh, and here's the replay of the pulse. And this was the middle of like some orbital array where everyone is clumped up behind Squid. So big window of opportunity for Taejong that he hits.
What an absolute beast. 1 minute and 25 seconds to go. 22 meters stands in the way at TSM and claiming this map. Popped. Deploy. High Noon popped. Solo pushed away. Bob instantly killed by the Deadeye. That was rather cruel if you ask me. Something against the raw robotics or something. Squid, Vision dead. Shikigami in good standing right now. This Liar rally is only going to be good for a moment here. Solo focuses him down in the corner. 50 seconds to go and Shikigami win a fight on the TSM side of the map. They're going to get forward spawns once again, and hey, they might even get an extra couple of meters here too.
The big playmakers on Shikigami are just absolutely pulling their weight. First is Taejong's 3K in multiple fight occasions, with that last fight being just Sungjun being able to play practice range against TSM. So King, there's so many threats for him to deal with.
Don't let him do it again, please. Okay, it missed this time. If that connected, that's probably a double. A rare miss from Taejong. Graveyard dead after popping the rush. 13 seconds to go as TSM fight for their lives on the point. And Anion and Shikigami, I think the rest of them are just going to run away at this point. There's no point fighting it. And hey, OT with a Ray, you're as good as golden. Even giving up this next fight, honestly. Just forcing Squid to use Orbital Ray, then come back with one of your own. A lot of win conditions here from Shikigami with the lead.
But TSM can't get away from the bot too long here with this orbital ray, since it is an overtime, and it's all up to King to help them buy a few more fights, because they got a couple to go, and King wants to be set up. He needs low HP targets, though.
He does indeed. Solo's getting chased out, eventually killed, and here it is, Shikigami. Probably not burning anything else. They've only got the ray, but that's realistically all that you need. You're going to be able to recontest. This Liar rally and the Blade Terror Surge has to go nuclear for TSM.
For TSM to convert that fight with just an orbital ray is massive. They got the economy, they got a Dragon Blade again. King has to be big. Can he close the gap between Graveyard before he teleports? Can he get on you? Can he shut down even the orbital ray? TSM can't really be proactive when they can't get off the cart.
Well, there's the Blade, there's the Terror Surge. Everything got Suzu though by Graveyard, so everybody's just about to walk away from it. I mean, surely that's all over now. Vision, Squid go down. Taejong as well in the back line with Bob to join the party as well. Liar's rally, a very sad one for TSM as Shikigami keep themselves alive in the series.
You said a nuclear performance, and oh my god, that's exactly what Shikigami did. The Tracer, the Ash, beautiful. I'm glad to see Taejong getting substituted back in, because man, both of them worked so well off of each other, who I don't think were on the same team when they did OWCS Korea, but are still incredible talents to be brought up, especially even spending time in North America. This is not Sungjun and Taejong's first rodeo when it comes to playing on North American teams, and for them to just play independent, just not really relying on a Brigitte, for example. They played off the Kiriko, the cleanse, as you point out, how important that was, and the offensive capabilities of the Kitsune Rush. Massive win for Shikigami.
The cleanse at the end, stopping that CC coming through from the Terror Surge. Just sick stuff. I mean, Liar's rally at the very end, it's like not even that can save them, unfortunately. Well, TSM, they're up 2 maps still, but Shikigami coming back. It's looking a little bit closer now. Okay. Johnny's laughing and grilling. What are you
I'm
laughing?
just extremely happy for you, Joss, because you are the biggest Sojun and Taejong sim.
I am, yeah. Dude,
you pre-glazed them
see
up.
how many pulse bombs that guy got?
Yeah, I saw them. I'm just happy for you because you get to see your...
NBA just started.
The NBA,
get him in.
What? NBA just didn't start. They're in preseason.
We don't know this stuff. We're just saying.
I'm not a sports guy, but you know, the basketball player, the ball sports
Joss, you have
started.
me. I believed you every second on the
Get him in
website.
the
Sports
NBA.
I'm
ball,
happy
he knows
for
what
you.
he's talking about.
I am in the NBA. Well, not really, but I could.
You
maybe.
could be in the NBA, Johnny. You gotta work on
What would I realistically do
You
in
gotta
the
work
NBA?
on your shooting. You gotta work
I
on
have a lot to work
your
on.
ball handling.
I need
You gotta
your
work on the
knees.
game of
Can I borrow your
basketball.
legs?
But you have height.
There's
You
a
have
little
height.
room to improve, but that's okay. That's okay. Let's run this one back. Let's focus on this last map. We got to see Shikigami keeping themselves alive in this series with a monster performance from their DPS department. I mean, honestly, those pulse bombs. How do you even stick so many 3K? Like, what did he have for breakfast, and why did it only kick in map 3?
It's so hard to see because obviously he's pulsing someone, and usually, they go to call it stand still, like don't move. But I feel like just from the few frames we do see, there's usually someone moving, and one wasn't a Terra Surge, so.
Yeah, the pulse bomb. I mean, damned if you do, damned if you don't, right?
Yeah.
Like you're gonna stay in the Orisa Surge. I mean, it's just a well-executed comp from them to bring out the Kiri. I think this is a relatively better map for this Kiri Tracer style. However, now they face a tough challenge, which is going to be 2 map picks back-to-back on modes that are pretty impactful to have picks, right? Hybrid and Escort. So, I mean, there's really every opportunity for TSM to close this out. Now I think it's time for TSM to show us, like, what's their best look, what's their comfort zone, where do they want to go to close the series in 4, because I don't think they want to go to a map 5.
If we're looking at those two teams stylistically, then TSM, where would they feel most comfortable taking this one?
Well, you got Riker, and so I do feel you feel pretty comfortable playing the dive if you want to, for example. Stylistically, your traditional like main tank kind of heroes, right? And so that could be an angle. And if we take a look at the map pool so far, when you consider like the Orisa style, push and clash usually like lend themselves pretty good. Flash and push lend themselves to that pretty wisely, right? So now you can go to a few maps to maybe like shake things up a little bit. Do you want to go to like Junkertown, Watchpoint Gibraltar? And so a few different kind of like variations here that might not be exactly what we saw in the first initial maps in the series.
I wouldn't mind seeing a map that lets Rocket come in and play a little bit of Tracer. So, I mean, I think Gibraltar is probably best case for that. Specifically probably the best Tracer map in the pool right now. Blizzard World, I think you could also make a compelling case for Tracer. For me, that's, I think, the interesting look for TSM, but then there's the question of if you're not playing so much of Rocket, maybe it's better to just stick with the players you've been practicing the most with. So I think.
But what a treat would it be? Taejong versus Rocket Tracer.
Tracer duels,
I
Widow
know.
duels.
It would kind of go crazy.
That would go hard.
It would go super hard.
Where all the real fans are hoping for Gibraltar.
Send it. That's what we would like to see. We also love to see drops. So make sure to connect your Battle.net account to your Twitch account, and you too can be feasting on the glory that these drops are. In fact, I love that we have a day theme, a night theme. Everything is autumn themed. Good stuff.
I would love waffles right now.
Waffles?
Yeah, low key. I'm down for American waffles.
This
Now
morning you were all about crepe,
come
and
crawling
now
back
suddenly he wants the
to
waffles. It's been a
America,
long day.
wanting our waffles.
But no,
craving
like butter.
carbs.
We don't need to put butter on it.
That's just
Why
weird.
not?
Can we agree that that's weird?
Why is that?
Yeah,
weird?
like
It's
just
just
no.
A clump of
fruit.
butter on you. Like, what
Well,
is
you
wrong
spread
with
it
you?
out.
It doesn't. It has butter in the batter.
Yeah, but you.
Just
I
butter
think
in
about
the batter. You
chicken
don't
though.
need more
Chicken and
butter.
waffles. Oh, Gibraltar!
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, if Rocket doesn't come in, it'll be.
Okay, now we gotta get the sub.
This is gonna be hype.
Question mark.
I mean, the thing is, you could also just have Kaden play the Tracer and be solid. There's a genuine question that whether they would even bring
Hold.
Rocket in.
Hold. I'm hearing a Shiki sub.
I'm holding.
Hold.
I'm presently holding. Mary coming in.
Ooh, Mary. Yeah, Mary, another new pickup alongside Songjun and Taejong. Mary has joined them as well. So I'm excited to see her in action for this squad here as well.
Makes sense. I think she's comfortable on the.
TSM's up?
This is what we've been waiting for.
Huh?
Yeah,
Let's go.
buddy. All right. Okay.
Let's
Unleash
go.
the beast. Let him out.
This is gonna be a good map.
This is gonna be good. We will be eating
Waffles, hopefully during.
waffles, Tracer duels.
Call it in, Johnny. Let's get some waffles.
It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time.
Chicken
I'm very
and
excited
waffles.
for this one. Of course, we are still finding ourselves here on Matchpoint. Shikigami only just brought it back 2-1, the current score here in the series, which is a do or die match, right? So like both of these teams are facing elimination with the loss here, and that would also mean the end of their respective seasons, where a victory in the overall tournament would get them that ticket to Stockholm. I don't think either of them could stay alive on points. I think they're too far
TSM is
behind.
fourth.
Are they fourth, actually?
So TSM,
TSM
might
are
have
Are they
a road to
actually?
qualifying points-wise. Yeah, 'cause
I
so
certainly hope
surprised
so,
right
but
now.
I did some prep work going into it. I'm pretty
I mean,
sure
they were
Yes, they
second
were.
in stage 1.
They
They've
were
had a
contending,
couple,
yeah.
But then they missed out on some. So definitely they'll need a strong result this tournament to have a
stay
hope.
alive.
You have to keep in mind, though, that the points are awarded to the players and not to the org.
Well, they got
So I-
Liar, Riker,
That's true. They've
Rocket.
got
They only
some
have
points.
two. They
They
only
get some
have
points
two
coming from Liar coming at M80.
that's a good point.
So it's going to get complicated. A lot of math.
Yeah,
But they gotta stay alive.
someone smarter
Not
than
my
us will
specialty.
be doing that math for us over the next 1 or 2 days, so we can give you a better prediction on who will be going through based on points alone. For now, though, we are waiting patiently for Gibraltar.
I'm
to
impatient.
start.
I want
Are
to see
you
Rocket play
impatient?
Tracer.
Impatient waiting.
This is
The
why I show up.
suspense.
I know. I'm just waiting for the queue to send it to the casters, but I guess I keep on waffling because
Just let Rocket play Tracer. It's what the people want.
It's what everyone wants.
Gibraltar. This is a classic map. I'm actually so happy Gibraltar's in the pool.
I love that we got to see it
Yeah.
several times
You know
today
we're
as
gonna
well.
get
Yeah.
Winston, Widow, and Tracer, and like I always miss those heroes. I always want more.
You know,
This
what
map
I
should
also want
always
to
be in the
see
pool.
more of. Yes, I agree.
Agree.
Also,
That's not a hot take, actually. That's a good take.
that is the coldest take.
Thank you,
of all
Jake. I'll
times.
take my good take for once.
Okay, Johnny has a good take. Jack and Jen are gonna have a good cast. This is gonna be a banger series. Let's see if Shiki can bring it back, or if TSM is gonna close it out.
A rare Johnny good take? Ain't no way.
It's gonna be exciting to see how
Wait, he did
Gibraltar
unpause
wraps
the
up.
game. Wait, he did. That was
Thanks,
actually the amount of
Reinforce.
time it takes from here to the control room. Wow, that's crazy. Oh, he's coming running back now. Thank you, Johnny. All right, let's get into this one. Seeing a lot of Widowmaker, a lot of Genji, a lot of Tracer, a lot of Winstons, a lot of Anas. It is a good day to be an Overwatch fan, that is for sure. We've been eating with these Watchpoint Gibraltar picks. Let's have a look at how Shikigami tackled this offense.
And this was Sunjun and Taejong putting an insane performance on our previous map to pull through, but can it really only just be them? Widow can be quite literally hit or miss, hot or cold. But Sunjun, he's the Widow specialist for Shikigami going up against Vision. But you brought Rocket. We don't get to see Rocket too often, but he's one of just my favorite Tracer players in the world. He's just a prodigy in the making. So watch out for what Rocket can do. And Mari too on the other side.
Yo, yeah.
That's better.
Doesn't want to take that. We'll see if they Widowmaker. Oh, yeah, I was going to say, surely you see the Widowmaker there. All right, Vision, show us what you got on the Widow against Sonjun, who's been a bit of a nasty player, especially on the Ashe too. Sonjun really just kind of made his debut on Shikigami playing Ashe. It's been such a powerful pick recently. A long-range hit scan has been very strong after the Cassidy nerf. Oh, see ya. Nah, we're good. Nice airstrike.
Riker's really testing the waters with how close he can get to this Widow, and as soon as his armor is popped, I like that he redirects towards a safer location, but Shikigami, Taejong is more battling than pushing the cart, so there's not really much progress and not much winning happening for Shikigami.
Stagger. Nice. Yeah, that was a good nade from Squid there initially. Small little rotation for Shikigami's backline, quickly thwarted. But Mari, she will end up dying, but it was a lot of time kind of wasted there, of course, after being staggered.
Yeah, Mari plays a lot of Diva, which will be the perfect counter to Riker, but there's going to be a lot of attention from Squid and Liar to keep Riker still up, and now the Nano. Goodbye, Sunjun.
Oh, Sunjun should be able to get out of there. Yeah, nice healing coming through from the back line. Riker's still got Primal Rage, though, and him just existing here is going to be a bit of a pain point. Taejong not hitting the 2K pulse bomb this time around. Sadly, it's actually Sunjun that starts off the fight with a headshot to Squid. Revenge for Anti in Graveyard, I would imagine. High ground control now for Riker and TSM is going to be quickly lost as Shikigami pushes them all the way back.
Shikigami could easily just focus the Diva and their Tracer on the cards and let Sunjun do things like that. Jeez, took time to get this going, though.
The Widowmaker's on fire. Anything is possible. Here comes the Ray from Shikigami. It's going to be matched by the rally from Lai. Can kind of hold this corner, protect Squid for as long as humanly possible. Sonjun with a good angle to over the battlefield as the payload, unfortunately, isn't retouched by TSM. And that'll be Shikigami just trading rally and Ray for a rally on TSM side.
Oh, Mari ended up having to use Bomb too. The rally ran out from Graveyard, and I'm not seeing any more stagger kills coming out of Shikigami. And then now Sunjin probably knows Rocket is back here, so he's kind of tweaking. And now Riker gets a chance to jump on this Widow. Where is Mari? And she may be focused on diving too much rather than peeling for this Winston. She really has to focus Riker.
Oh, that's so sad when you get that weird short grapple as the Widow. You like grapples like kind of short. You don't hit the spacebar, you don't hit the jump to like do a little bounce. You just kind of jolt forward. Unfortunate stuff. Nice nade though from Squid. He's been kind of on fire with them recently actually.
Shikigami not being able to carry any momentum from capping point A is rough. Now we're pulse spawning the spawn. Like what's up with that, Rocket?
You come in off the bench, then you start posting the spawn. You gotta let them know who just joined the server. You gotta let them know.
Yeah, Rocket's the GOAT, but Sunjin has a sight. He'd love to be able to see better through this bubble if Riker would get out of his space, and Mari is gonna have to go full peel mode, especially against this Winston.
Easiest collapse of your life. Right there. Taejong, Graveyard, dead. No Matrix can save you. Sunjin is still coming up with kills, despite all the pressure from Riker and Rocket.
Shikigami still have to break through these doorways. They don't got much going on except the orbital ray, but it's all about the playstyle of D.Va and how you're adapting to that. And Mari is going to be the make or break of this team of how they can deal with Riker. As soon as they force Riker to jump back, Shikigami could set their Widow up into a better position. Taejong can get on the cart and get that pushing. Like, it all starts with step one.
You know where the Widow is, because Riker is chasing Sunjin to the opposite door, in which Vision is looking currently. Oh, Riker's back. Has got Primal as well. Might not even need it. Yeah, Graveyard. Graveyard is having the worst game right now, and not through his fault either. Riker and just Rocket are just hounding Graveyard down. It's hard for him to do anything on the Brig. Really tough spot for the Brig to be in.
I think
cannot be blamed for that at all. It's just Riker and Rocket just playing very well.
Yeah, it's really tough to play D.Va on this map just because, and getting back on that, it's just the boost to go up on top of the ship, like you're barely getting on top of it. You don't go as deep of a dive as a Winston, and you obviously don't have a bubble to maintain that position for much long. So Mari is very tunneled on diving maybe this Widow or chasing Rocket around rather than try to protect her team against Riker. So now at least maybe getting a kill onto Liar may force the rally out is a silver lining if that happens, but Mari needs help.
Yeah, look at that Ray there. That should be more than enough. Oh, Rocket got bonked into another century there. That flail in the orbital ray, it does a lot of damage. Can't calculate off the top of my head, but it's a lot. 40 seconds remaining here for Shikigami's offense. It's a scrappy affair once again. The payload unable to be moved. See Mari, she is stuck right now. Very, very low. Can't lose mech. 2 HP. Oh, that is disaster. Now needs to build this back up. Luckily, her team rallying around her, at least for the time. And with Taejong finding a pulse bomb kill onto Squid, should be an easier affair now.
Yeah, and Mari gets subbed in for this map especially, and she is the master of this. 10 seconds left. Shikigami have made it halfway to point B, and I mean, beyond that. And Taejong is doing work. He's won the duel against the other Tracer, so not lost yet for Shikigami.
Yeah, Riker, if I can get this kill, it's going to be wonderful for TSM's chances on the defense, but 4 meters to go. Vision's kind of come back on the Venture. Really hard to actually get rid of on the point. And oh, a Nano Venture straight through the shield. Graveyard, absolutely not. It was Vision that was digging him one. Anian down, Mari falls as well, and that will be Shikigami halted on second point. 78 meters and a little bit. Is TSM with an extremely strong hold. A lot of that too, Lemon, at the very end, was Riker like drawing the ire of pretty much everybody from Shikigami. The Primal Rage in the small room, stopping the supports, helping the fight on the point.
For Shikigami to never really win a fight on point B, but still get the cart all the way to the end, like, you gotta commend Sunjin, or whoever the Tracer was on Shikigami, to do something with all the action happening elsewhere, to get progress, to at least make something out of nothing, which was just not being able to get an initial pick, to get your Widow in a good spot, to, okay, your Tracers sometimes win a duel here and there, but ultimately just the backline from Shikigami getting absolutely pounded every time they even looked at Point B Gibraltar. So it's not the worst push, it's not the best push. I've used that before, but hey, being able to full hold TSM would be quite a feat. So it's all about how Mari can adapt to the situation, which has been very dive heavy, and D.Va does best at being flexible to balance peel with dive, and knowing what those opportunities are is what makes a very, very good D.Va player. And having a Mei on defense is interesting.
I like it. I do like the Mei, but yeah, you aren't wrong. It's very hard to kind of execute with how mobile everybody is. See if Vision sticks on the Hanzo. Well, I wouldn't hate it.
Just the Vision off the bridge just to see what they get.
Stick on the Hanzo. I like this. Of course, Hanzo got changed recently, so the one-shots, they're back. So very effective in not only taking down Widows, but taking down everybody else. But it looks like Vision's going to change. Widowmaker? Okay, back to the Widow. In it for the duel. Sunjin already picks up one kill there.
Should have maybe figured that out sooner, because the rest of the team were fighting and now a lot of time has been lost. But TSM have now got the comp that they're happy with. Rocket could push the card, and now he's got the attention of Mari, so TSM can play off of maybe punishing this D.Va and moving forward.
Yeah, it's going to be a little tough to make the Mei work on this first point. You can kind of hold down Car Wash pretty easily, but with these Widowmakers, it only takes one quick headshot to really undo all of that progress under Car Wash. Squid having pretty much almost all of his CDs eaten there by the D.Va. Luckily got the nade off, and with the nano boost swiftly built up, are they really going to expect this? Riker sent into the backline, hurtling towards Sunjin as Vision takes down his DPS partner in Taejong. 2.5 minutes to go. I mean, TSM are just running over Shikigami. They're not really standing up to them in any meaningful way currently.
Yeah, when you get to a competitive point, it's very hard to, as in the competitive scene, it's hard to dive a backline. They're going to heal each other, and that's why Winston is a better dive tank, because even if you're not killing anybody or doing much damage, you're bubbling them off, and that could really hurt, obviously, heroes that rely on sightlines or that can't peel for themselves very well. While Mari doesn't have the bubble option, and the Matrix you're going to use to protect yourself to disengage, so Mari's having a tough time, like, having an impact beyond that.
Sights have been popped. Sunjin does end up getting to the high ground. Doesn't really want to go down now. Those sights will disappear rather quickly. Riker's got Primal Rage. You got to know he's got it. And Sunjin just out of this fight, out of this universe. And now Vision is so free on this Widow. Luckily, there's a big trade coming through. Mari picks up her kill. I got my one in Liar. It's available from Taejong. Will he pop it? Yes. There's a jump available from Riker. Can he get out? Oh, he actually gets frozen. Bonked his low head on the spaceship, perhaps. Still, though, 4 minutes. TSM got a lot of time to play with.
I like the groovy skin that Taejong has on too, but Blizzard Higgs expended, and the Icicle is very deadly at range, and a lot of contest with the ice block, obviously. But other than that, yeah, just a chunkier Tracer, I guess, or just another type of Tracer on Shikigami's side. And it's the comfortability out of Taejong. Pulse bomb dodge there. Rocket has an important duel to deal with.
In the blink of an eye, you've lost your DPS. You'd expect that against a Widow, but Taejong, that's the second time he's fallen prey to the Widowmaker. Only a couple of meters to go now. I mean, there's a touch available for Shikigami. Taejong is now on the Genji. Way more dive heavy. Rally, Ray available. Angle from Vision is nice. Can he land the headshot? Looking at Anium, but she gets out of the way. Headshot onto Graveyard, forces the shield there, but with the rally going off, the Brig is going to be fine.
Yeah, Shikigami stay on their feet, and they also need to contest and play behind the cart. And if Shikigami just stack on the cart, it's going to be hard to dislodge them. TSM are just going to have to hope for headshots from Vision, as Sunjin makes Vision uncomfortable.
One's got a touch.
Oh.
Yep, Mari's there. Chillin'. Nano boost available for Squid. Deploy that onto Riker, maybe get a Primal, whichever way you want to say it. Oh, it goes on to Liar. Okay, Liar pretty low on the point, just trying to force it. It's going to get rallied pretty quick as well. Look at that ult charge building up already. Pulse bomb, though, weaved in from Sunjin. Squid down. 4v5 now, make that a 4-on-4 as Sunjin also bites the dust. Payload still a couple of meters away from actually being completed here, and TSM taking the series. Primal Rage popped, Anian dead. Only one support available for Shikigami, and it's only going to be Graveyard. And Riker is making Graveyard's life just a miserable. Self-destruct does enable Mari to get back into the mech, but quickly dealt with. The pulse bomb connected to her, and that should be it. TSM with a dominant showing on Gibraltar. Subbed in Rocket, got it done. Time to go for dinner. TSM knock out Shikigami and continue a run in that lower bracket.
A really good effort out of Shikigami. I mean, they finished, they couldn't even get out of groups last stage. So for Shikigami to get this far, you got to really commend them. I think their best stage was stage 1. And Shikigami are still, like I said, trying to find that structure, incorporating those new players. They have this, you know, godsend of a coach of Fleta, who's going to hopefully bring them to a better wave next season. But unfortunately, these really good changes just come in too late. Can you imagine what Shikigami would have looked like with just a few more months together? Like, they really made TSM sweat at some points, but TSM synergy, their chemistry, and just how relentlessly aggressive they can be off of Riker, who can play any tank, has been awesome to see. Congrats to TSM.
You're happy when Rock comes into play and then just puts up big numbers on the Tracer. Taejong just couldn't get it done. That push was so clean with his Tracer, but it is TSM all today, at least. I mean, Shikigami, like you said, really big up to them, making it all the way here. It was just unfortunate. You're facing so many strong teams so early on. But TSM advancing. I mean, the Desk got their Preds right. Looking good, honestly. Everybody over there looking clean.
Definitely the Preds that we all preded into this game. I'm so glad we did, since we all got it right. I couldn't agree more with Jen here at the very end there. I would have loved to have seen these changes from Shikigami earlier in the season, to have more reps, to have more team cohesion heading into these later stages, because I think Shikigami would have had a really high ceiling. Like, the glimpses we got to see today, even though it was a little bit more disconnected, that should make you very excited. If this roster is going to stick together heading into next season, I think they can go far.
They got shooters. Sanjun, Taejong, very impressive performances from them individually, you know, battling back to make this not a 3-0 sweep. Impressive. But in the end, I think this TSM squad has just come together beautifully, playing a lot of different styles, a lot of different comps, even having a weapon like Rocket on the bench. I mean, that's a lot of talent to go through.